What's up, guys? This is Vaughn from Simply Hawkward Games, and today I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about some comics. I've been reading quite a few lately, including like Spider-Gwen, the Titans, Blue Beetle, like all sorts of stuff, and I just wanted to do some quick like finger gun reviews at you. So I actually was really excited to read Spider-Gwen. I have a couple issues right here. Sadly, I couldn't find a whole lot of them. They were really hard to find, actually. It's a very popular comic series, but from the two I read, they are actually quite hard to read. I like them. Like, Spider-Gwen is an amazing character. I love her as Spider-Woman, and it's a really interesting universe that I'm excited to read about, like, once I find more of the issues. But it's so kind of like hard to read. Basically like the dialogue is so like mismatched and everything, and it goes from like here to here to here to here, and it's like, oh, that character, here's the little bit about them and all sorts of stuff. It's just really hard to read. Basically, it's just like chaos on a page. It's just very like when you mix all of your food into one thing and then you can never separate it again. That's what it's like. But it's really not bad. It's a great comic series, and I'm excited to read more about Spider-Gwen. That's just what really was like at the top of my head when I was reading it. I was like, damn, this is hard to read. I don't know if I can keep reading it. But it is a lot of fun. I do enjoy it. I like the character of Gwen far more than I like Peter, just because like she's this heroine. She's like also just wants to be a drummer, like all sorts of stuff. It's like really nice and refreshing to see a different take on Spider-Man. So I actually really did enjoy that comic. My seriously only constructive criticism is like just make it easier to read. Like, it's a good story, but we don't need like a dialogue box here, and then here, but you have to read it that way. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. It's just our eyes read left to right, not left in a V formation. It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, that's basically what I think of Spider-Gwen right now. I'm gonna read some more, but haven't found the issues yet. So it's going to take me a little bit of time, but I'm really, really excited to read more. 100% would recommend picking up some Spider-Gwen comics. Just be ready to be confused. Now I'm going to move on to my next comic, which is the Justice League number 3. It's the like rebirth issues and stuff like that. It is actually really, really good. If you guys haven't been reading the Justice League so far, you definitely need to. Because it's basically like this weird story about just like these random ass creatures that are talking about stolen power and everything. And now Superman has traveled to like the center of the earth to try to stop these like war machines. It's really exciting. It's really interesting. I'm very much excited to see what happens with it, just because it's very vague. Like, that's kind of what I hate about single issues, is they're so fucking vague about everything. They're like, you'll find out in the next issue, and I'm like, really? Like, couldn't I just have found out this issue, because I really just want to know what the fuck they're doing? But I understand, like, I am actually writing my own comic book, and like them just leading you into a new one totally makes sense. Mine's gonna be a lot longer than these, because of my complete disdain of just single issues, because you don't get a lot of trade paperbacks, or just you don't get a whole lot of trade issues altogether. But I would 100% recommend reading the Justice League series. So good, so much fun. I would 100% pick it up. It's very interesting, and it's very misleading. Like, it definitely makes you think something else is going on, when really I'm very sure it's coming down to just like, it's really hard to explain. I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but it's very good. 100% would recommend reading the Justice League comic books. They're great. Really, DC is just like $2.99 for a comic. That's nice. At least you're not getting it in like when it's like a back stock, and then they just charge whatever they want for it. So at the comic book shop that I go to, it's like, oh, this originally was $3.99, but now you're gonna pay $7 for it, and I'm like, am I? Because I'm not. So yeah. 100% would recommend Justice League, though. Alright, now I'm going to move into Nightwing number 3. I am a little bit further down these chains, like the three, you know what I mean? But I actually really, really enjoy the Nightwing series so far. I like the character of Raptor. He's really interesting. It definitely kind of leaves you on a cliffhanger at the end, wondering whether or not Dick knew about something that the Raptor did, or whether he didn't. Barbara is in it, which I really, really enjoy. Barbara Gordon's new Batgirl, especially the new costume. Looks so good, looks great. I'm very, very excited to read more about Nightwing. It's a great comic book so far. It's basically just, like, it's like the Grayson comic books, but different because he's not really a secret agent. He's like very unwilling to be with the Court of Owls, and he makes that very clear. Like, he's not there to be their errand boy. He's there because they're making him be there, which I really enjoy because they're actually there's kind of some truth behind that and kind of not. So I'm not going to ruin it before you guys start reading the comic series, but it's very good. It's 100% something that I would recommend. Nightwing is a very good comic book. He's so interesting. Max Landis did a thing. He did a video a while ago about why Nightwing is so interesting and why he's one of the coolest superheroes. And it was very, like, eye-opening, and I didn't even think about it that way. It's very much about, like, him being Batman, but being a normal Batman instead of just being, like, the billionaire kind of Batman. I very much enjoyed it. I very much enjoyed this comic book. 100% would recommend. I know a lot of my things so far is 100% would recommend, but there is like one or so that I actually would not recommend picking up. I've only read a single issue of it, which kind of annoys me. Sorry, I'm kind of a mushmouth today. I'll get into it when I get into it, but I would recommend the Nightwing comic book. It's very good, very well done, and I love the art style. Raptor's a great character, and I love the inclusion of Barbara Gordon in this issue. It's really nice, and you also have kind of like the drama between Nightwing and Barbara Gordon being together. I really enjoy that, so I would recommend picking it up. It's seriously $2.99. Like, these comic books are outrageously cheap for what they're worth, so I would recommend picking that one up. It's a great comic. Moving on to my final comic book review of today, because seemingly this video is taking a lot longer than I thought it would be. I will be doing the rest of these comic reviews probably tomorrow or so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. We've got, like, The Flash number 5, got Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns number 2 and 3 is what I'm going to do, and then the Titans number 2. I would definitely recommend checking out tomorrow's video for those reviews, but make sure you guys stay tuned to this one, because now I'm going to be talking about Blue Beetle number 1. Yeah, this is my boring as fuck comic book. This is my I actually might not read the series afterwards. That is my holy shit, Jamie Reyes, get your shit together kind of a comic book. Like, Ted Kord is such a cool guy, but this comic book is written in the way to make them both so fucking boring that I cannot stand to read it. Like, I'm going to pick up the next maybe 2 issues just to see if it gets any better, because I don't want to write this comic off for its first issue, but that one was so fucking boring. Basically, Jamie Reyes gets his ass beat for the entire comic. It's so ridiculous. Like, you have a suit of armor that can do anything. Like, almost anything. And you're so bad at using it. I understand you're reluctant. You, like, don't want to have this suit of armor. You just want to be a teenager. That's cool and all, but you're kind of being a bitch about it. Like, take some fucking, like, experience from any Spider-Man person. Fucking great power comes great responsibility. You've got great power. Quit being a bitch about it and fucking be a superhero. Like, come on. I mean, Jamie Reyes just needs to learn that, to just quit being such a bitch. Like, that's basically my review for that comic book, is it's boring, Jamie's a bitch, Ted Kord is just, he's actually, like, they have made a cool, eccentric billionaire that doesn't have any, like, really awesome training like Batman does. He's just a really, like, interesting, nerdy guy. They made that guy really fucking boring for the first part of it, because he's like, oh yeah, dude, I'll help you out, I'm gonna shoot some tear gas. Like, oh, that's fucking cool. Do something else in your gigantic rovering beetle. And then oh my god, I don't even want to get into the end of that comic. Like, if you guys have read it, you know how boring it is. And then they have a cliffhanger at the end that's like, oh man, dude, that Scarab, bad news. Oh my god. Jesus Christ, that's so boring. Like, it's like they thought the cliffhanger would make up for anything. It made up for absolutely nothing. So, I would not recommend picking up the Blue Beetle number 1. I'm going to pick up the next 2 issues just to see how shitty it gets, or if it gets better. I will be doing reviews on those as well, but right now, kind of straight from the Blue Beetle series unless you're 100% a fan of Blue Beetle, because Jamie Reyes in this comic so far is fucking boring and has a weird ass goatee, so just be ready for that. Like I said, I will be doing reviews on all of these probably tomorrow, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that video. And since I have a little bit of time left, I'm actually going to do a Funko Pop review. Just throw that in there. So this Funko Pop review is going to be Kit Fisto. Woo, woo. So Kit Fisto is actually part of the new like Star Wars Funko Pops that was actually just released. This one is a Walgreens exclusive. Seemingly so is Plo Koon and Reyes. I don't know about the Blue Sentinel guard, but I don't really care. Plo Koon is so ugly to me that I like saw it and I was like, oh, an exclusive? I don't want it. And then Reyes is also very ugly. They're just so ugly. I probably will pick up the Blue Sentinel. Maybe the Luke without a hand. Like, there's a couple others, like, on here that I'll probably pick out, but not Plo Koon and not Reyes, because they're gross. I'm probably saying their name, like, I know Plo Koon is right, but Reyes, I don't know if that's right. But this one is Kit Fisto. I actually love Kit Fisto. Like, if there's one thing that I wish you could do in Star Wars The Old Republic, like the video game, I'm talking about the MMO, is you could make Kit Fisto's race. Like, that would be fucking cool. They need to add that, because Kit Fisto is one of the most interesting and one of, like, my favorite Jedi, and I actually don't know much about him. Like, that's kind of shows you how interesting I find him, is that I bought a Funko Pop, and I actually really enjoy Kit Fisto, and I don't know who the fuck he is. And that's awesome. So this is the Kit Fisto Funko Pop. His head actually bobbles, kind of. Mine is kind of odd. I mean, his tentacles make it kind of hard, but oh my god, his head is tilting to the side. I wish they just did not make them bobbleheads. Like, they're fucking killing me with these bobbleheads. See, he kind of bobbles when you put him side to side. I do love his green lightsaber. That does mean he's a sage. I love Kit Fisto. He looks so good right here. He has, like, some interesting, like, eyeliner and stuff like that, which you guys can see right there. It's not really eyeliner. That's obviously just, like, his eyes. I mean, I imagine Jedis aren't too worried about what their faces look like or how cool they look. But Kit Fisto just looks so good. I mean, I love the Star Wars ones because they come with detachable bases and everything. And that's so nice because they make them so top-heavy sometimes. He looks so good. Like, there's so much amazing detail in this Funko Pop. I love it so much. Like, I'm so glad that I added it to my collection. There is a little bit of paint on one of his hands, which totally makes sense because it's like, it's very hard, I imagine, to put so much detail into these, but I think he looks really good. They put a lot of the nice, like, little smudges and everything, basically, like, birthmarks and stuff like that on his tentacles. I'm just so glad that I picked this one up. This is a Walgreens exclusive, just like the Gwen Unmasked and the, like, Green Goblin Funko Pops I did, so make sure you guys check out those videos as well. They came a little bit earlier in the week. But basically, so far, how I feel about this one is I would 100% recommend buying it if you guys are Star Wars fans. Kit Fisto looks so good. If you guys are also fans of Star Wars and you want to pick up, like, Plo Koon and Reyes, you can find them at Walgreens as well. I think the Blue Sentinel might also be there. All these Walgreens exclusives are so they're, like, really annoying. But I actually do enjoy them so far. Like, Walgreens are everywhere. And, like, oh my god, Kit Fisto looks so fucking good. Like, look at that guy. He looks so good. I'm just so excited to add this to my Funko Pop collection. I'm not even joking. He looks great. I would 100% recommend it. If you guys stumble across him, you need to buy him because I imagine they aren't going to stay on shelves for long. So that's basically my, like, video for today. I did some reviews on some comic books if you guys already watched. Hopefully you guys made it this far into this video, and I did the review on Kit Fisto the Funko Pop. I hope you guys liked today's video. If you did, like it down below, helps me out a bunch. Make sure you also click that subscribe button to get all of my upcoming content. Like I said, I will be doing my tomorrow video will be a review on some more comic books. Sorry I didn't do a review yesterday or any sort of video yesterday. It was Labor Day. I had to work, like, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, it kind of sucks to work on Labor Day. So, yeah, that's it for this video. Make sure you guys also leave a comment down below letting me know how you guys feel about these. If you think Blue Beetle's the most boring fucking comic book you've read so far. Ask me, like, anything about the Kit Fisto Funko Pops. Why I fucking hate Plo Koon. Like, anything like that. Make sure you guys, follow me on Twitter at Simply Hawkward. We could talk about anything. And that's it for me today. I hope you guys have a great day.